Hello and welcome to another episode of Political Insider. I'm your host, Herald-Tribune political editor, Zach Anderson. With me today is Sarasota Democratic Party Chair, Christine Jennings. Christine, thanks for being here.
I'm delighted to be here with you.
Well, I'm delighted as well, and I want to get right into some big news that you announced recently, and that's that Joaquin Castro is going to be speaking at the big dinner that you guys hold every year in February. Now, for those who don't know Castro, he's the Hispanic former mayor of San Antonio, currently a member of President Obama's cabinet. He's considered one of the top contenders for the Democratic vice presidential nomination. He was the keynote speaker at the Democratic National Convention in 2012. Even Republicans I talked to say this is a big get for you guys. Was it important for you to have a top-tier speaker in your first year as party chair? I know you only took over as party chair just recently. Did you want to really kind of make a splash here and get a big speaker?
You know, it really wasn't about that.
Yeah.
Julian Castro, I think, just represents the Democratic Party so well. And to my knowledge, we have never had a Hispanic speaker for the annual Kennedy King dinner. So I started reaching out to him in June and finally got the answer, and we announced it last Thursday in your column. But no, it was really, last year we had Barney Frank. We had 630 people there, and the Hyatt Hotel holds 700. So, but the real reason was I like the diversity that our party has.
Great. And I hear that this is already sold out, so it's getting a lot of interest.
From the minute it appeared in the stories, the phone has been ringing off the hook. We are taking people's names in case we have cancellations so that we can call people up and get them in. But Steny Hoyer, who is the whip of our party for the House of Representatives, is also coming. He will be speaking, and then he will be introducing Julian Castro.
Great. So two pretty big speakers.
Yes.
So you have Castro coming in. You're hoping that Democrats will get fired up here, come out to the polls in 2016. Are you also hoping that he might inspire some more people to run for office? You know, the party has done pretty well in some of these city elections, but getting, good candidates for the countywide and some of these legislative elections has been a bit of a struggle. Do you hope to recruit some strong candidates going forward?
We have recruited some candidates. They will be announcing in January or February.
All right.
This is not the time to announce. It would get lost in the holiday season.
You don't want to break the news here?
No, I'm going to let them break their news, but we will have something very special planned to announce our candidates, something very, very special.
Okay. So some interesting news coming up here. This is a Republican-leaning region. What makes a good Democratic candidate in this region? You ran for Congress, came within just a hair of winning, so you were obviously a pretty strong candidate. You're known as sort of a pro-business. You have banking experience. Do you think that sort of those pro-business, moderate Democrats make a good candidate in this region? What makes a good Democratic candidate around here?
Well, I even believe that most of the Republicans are also moderate. I think this area is a very moderate area. I think that's obvious by the way we support the arts. I think it's obvious by the way we support diversity in this area. Look at the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, the support that this area has given. It's just been overwhelming. Our gay friends, the support that they have. So this area is very moderate on almost everything. So I think, but there are differences in the parties. There's no question that there's differences, and diversity is one of those differences as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
The Democratic Party, I think it's obvious when you look at it. It is made up of a representation of almost everything and everyone. The Republican Party, on the whole, when you look at it, is still basically in leadership the white male.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing who some of these Democratic candidates are that you're working with. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the Democratic presidential debate that's coming up this Saturday at 8 p.m. on ABC. What do you think about these weekend debate times? That's been a little bit controversial. It's a time when not a lot of people are watching TV Saturday night. People are going out and doing things. Some people have said that you know, maybe the Democratic Party was trying to protect Hillary Clinton by having these debates at times when, you know, not a lot of people are watching, so that if she has a bad debate, oh well, no people aren't watching. You know, what do you think about that? Because she's actually had some pretty good debates. So if that was the intention to protect her, it probably wasn't a good idea, because she's done pretty well in these debates. What do you think about having these weekend debate times?
I can honestly tell you I have not heard that they were ever done for the protection of Hillary Clinton, because frankly I think that is one of the silliest things that anyone could say. If there is anyone who is experienced at debating and experienced at talking with world leaders, TV, et cetera, it's Hillary Clinton.
Sure.
I don't understand why a debate on a Saturday night, the Saturday before Christmas either, but I'm not in on those talks, so I have no response on that. But I do think it's incredibly exciting that Warren Buffett endorsed Hillary Clinton yesterday. Now that to me is the gold approval, it's the housekeeping approval. I mean, that's as good as it gets.
You think that gives her some pretty good credentials in sort of the business and economic arena?
You know, well, definitely. I mean, but let's say this about Hillary Clinton. If there is anyone, and I believe Marco Rubio even alluded to this in one of the debates, if you're going to vote on someone with the resume, it would be Hillary Clinton. I'm sure that will come back to haunt him. But Hillary Clinton, when you look at all that she has done and the experience that she has had, I can assure you or anyone else that this debate was not about a Saturday night to hide Hillary Clinton.
Okay. Oh, and we've mentioned that Hillary has actually had some pretty good debates. What do you think about Bernie Sanders now? I mean, she's put a bit of a distance between herself and him. He was kind of creeping up on her and actually doing better than her in some polls in some of the early states, and now it seems like she's in the lead again and has a huge lead when you look at national polls. Do you think Bernie Sanders can still give her a competitive primary? You know, the main issue now, or a big issue that's come up, is foreign policy and national security. That's not necessarily one of his strengths. He tends to focus on, you know, economic inequality, and he's continued to focus on economic inequality even as the debate has shifted a little bit towards foreign policy here. Is he, you know, is he out of his element at this point? I mean, is he out of sync with where the country is on some of these issues, or do you think he still has a chance to give Hillary a good run for her money?
Well, you know, I am proud of all three of our presidential candidates. Martin O'Malley, I mean, a very good man in his own right, but I think when you look at Hillary's background, Secretary of State, the senator from New York, been in the White House, the wife of a governor, you put all that experience together in any arena, she's going to be ahead of most everyone, because there's no one that's had the experience that she has in any of the fields. So we love Bernie, but Hillary is ahead in the polls and probably will stay ahead.
All right. Well, thanks again for being here. We're going to leave it on that today. We're going to take a bit of a break at Political Insider for the holidays, but I'll be back on January 7th when my guest will be State Senator Nancy Dieter. So I hope you will join us for that, and thanks again for being here, Christine.
Thank you, and happy holidays.
To you too. Happy holidays to everybody.